On Edinburgh's Royal Mile, the famous icons of Scottish identity are drawing the tourists. There is a palpable tension in this ancient city. Scotland could vote to break away after 300 years of being part of the United Kingdom. David Torrance is a Scottish political analyst and writer.
There has always been a sizeable minority in Scotland who just instinctively want Scotland to be an independent country. What you see now is an additional layer of people who have been convinced over the past 2 years that independence will make them better off.
Analysts say there is a growing fear of the wider damage that losing Scotland could have on the rest of the United Kingdom. The windswept Scottish port of Aberdeen is full of vessels servicing platforms out in the North Sea. An estimated 90% of Britain's petroleum reserves lie beneath what would be Scottish national waters. Aberdeen's oil economy is still booming. This is the richest place in Britain outside the London region. The Scottish government claims there are 24 billion barrels of oil left. The British government says it's closer to 15 billion. Kemp is Professor of Petroleum Economics at the University of Aberdeen.
If the industry enhances its production efficiency, then the fall in production could be reversed for 5-6 years and it could come up a bit. The UK government is not really convinced of that.
Scotland already has a separate parliament, but its powers to raise taxes are limited, and London still decides economic policy. Set it free and Scotland will prosper, says Kenny Anderson of the pro-independence group Business for Scotland.
I'm not sure that always the UK have our unique interests at the top of their agenda, not for any sinister reason, it's just that there are other pressures. Whereas if we're independent, we can put our unique interests, whisky, oil, gas, fishing, engineering, education, right at the top of our agenda.
While the focus has been on economics, Scotland's historic rivalry with England looms large. Drew McKenzie Smith's family owns Lindores Abbey on the banks of the River Tay. On the hills nearby, the Scottish independence fighter William Wallace led his men to victory against English forces in the Battle of Blackburnside. Wallace's fight for Scottish independence was famously depicted in the movie Braveheart. But Mackenzie Smith says the romance should give way to reality.
I'm a great admirer of Wallace, but that was in 1298, and I think the whole Braveheart angle has been sort of played to death. The Yes campaign have got lots of sound bites, there's lots of exciting things they propose, but in the sort of harsh reality, none of it is accounted for.
Scotland's landscape is littered with the ancient ruins of its history. Unlike centuries past, this time only Scots will decide the fate of their nation. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, Edinburgh.